go.
Someone woke up with an attitude. Apart from knocking her the fuck out! That's fucking Fanta! Jacob, there ain't gonna be no ta-na-na-na-na-na if you don't put your fucking seatbelt belt on! You're gonna die!
Don't be surprised if one day I just
drank the blood of some people, but the people were on drugs. And now I'm a wizard. Drank the drug blood. Yes, I drank some drug blood.
But if you're troubled and hurt, what you got under your shirt will make them pay for the things that they did. They set out teenagers scared the living shit out of me.
I bet she's looking up at us and smiling right now.
Looking up?
Oh, yeah. No, she was really nice to me, but she's in hell for sure.
All right, pull your hatchets out. Stop, chop, chop, chop. Swing, 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 swing. Swing, 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 swing.
Uh-oh. Here come the po-po.
I already know everyone in the comments is like looking at the pinned comment of part 3 and like, well, where is it? Where is it? I'm recording it right now. I'm just a planner, okay? Okay, back to Neptune. So again, Neptune in Aquarius is the bulk of the placement for Generation Z. So because Neptune rules over the 12th house concepts like spirituality, higher self, shedding your skin, becoming a better person. And since Aquarius rules over the 11th house, which has everything to do with like our social circles, our groups, our clubs, our organizations, our networking abilities. When you mesh those two together, you've got this group of people that come together in their like spirituality and their ideas and their dreams in order to become better people, to heal the entire planet. That just feels corny. I don't want to say it like that. Basically, like raising the frequency and the vibes. I don't like that either. I don't. They're just making the world a better place, okay? They're healing themselves from the inside out and therefore healing everyone else around them with spirituality and ideas and oneness as a group, as a whole. It's very beautiful, actually. I really like it. Fortunately and unfortunately, most of millennials and the older Gen Z have a Neptune and Capricorn placement, which isn't a bad thing. It's just different. Capricorn is all about like knowing when the time is right and keeping your feet placed on the ground, okay? It's an earth sign. It's rooted in the earth. It is rooted in good timing. So it's pretty cool that we have this like millennial grounding and like, hey, Neptune and Aquarius, like I know you got these great ideas and I like them, but like let's start here before we get to here, okay? It's like the cautious mama and the spirited child. And now we are coming to the last and final generational planet that is the slowest moving, which is Pluto, and probably the most important one. So first of all, it's important to know that most of millennials have a Scorpio-Pluto placement. Because literally in 1995, Pluto moves into Sagittarius, which is, it's beautiful. The millennial placement of Pluto in Scorpio is so vital to providing a platform for the Gen Z Pluto placement in Sagittarius. Scorpio is a sign that uncovers truths, and Pluto is the planet that is like abrupt and sudden changes. Scorpio is a mutable water sign, so its ability to change with the times is out of this world. It's also a very deep sign. It wants to know the truth. Pluto in Scorpio gives these people these tools to collapse the norm of things and change into something new and beautiful. And then the new and beautiful comes, which is Pluto in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the teacher, it's the spiritual guru, it is the sharer of information. So Gen Z is all about, again, spirituality and coming together and morals and ethics and creating a new society based off of correct information, based off of equality and overall just love. It uses philosophy to shift our belief system. So these two generations incite transformation. Some of you guys are mean. So sorry I didn't immediately post a part 2. I'm a mom, I have a life, and it was fucking nighttime. Yeesh. Also, Uranus doesn't really fucking matter, does it? Let's get back to it, because now I'm mad. Okay, so the bulk of people born between 96 and 2003 have their Uranus in Aquarius. In March of 2003, though, Uranus moves into Pisces. But I would also like to mention that planets go retrograde, which means that the planet goes back through the sign it was close to. Therefore, there's a couple people sprinkled in throughout the months of 2003 and before, a little bit after, who have Uranus in Aquarius as well. Don't at me, I don't control the planet, just look it up yourself. Now, we already know that Uranus in Aquarius is very much the rebel and like organizing groups for change. Uranus in Pisces is so complementary of that, it's ridiculous. Pisces naturally rules over the 12th house, which is the house that involves shedding your skin, becoming a better person. It's all about the astral realm, the unknown, what's out there. So Uranus and Pisces are people who are always searching for something new and better. And towards the end of 2011, right at the tail end of Generation Z, we have Uranus moving into Aries. So now we're going to have this chunk of younger Generation Z who is going to be the leaders of change. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac. It is considered the leader of all the zodiac signs. It also has like really fresh and new ideas. And since Uranus is the planet of rebellion and change, these are going to be the type of people who love to incite change, not just talk about it. So as a generation, we have these 3 different types of Uranus placements for Generation Z that are just completely changing how society is. They're breaking down societal structures. A lot of people were also asking me for millennials where the Uranus placements were. A lot of people have Uranus in Capricorn. Capricorn is all about government and structure. So not really the generation to break down societal structures. Of course, there's a couple of other sign placements in the millennial generation that involve Sagittarius and involve Scorpio, which make them more of the generation of like the deep thinkers, like, okay, we should be thinking about what we're doing right now and it doesn't feel right. So kind of like the informants to Generation Z, like bringing the topics up, but not necessarily having the tools to take action or say things. The Gen Z Uranus placements just literally, they can't keep their mouth shut. They're not gonna sit there and take it. The second slowest moving generational planet is Neptune. There's a lot less placements in Neptune for Generation Z because, again, it moves slower. So the older Generation Z has a Neptune in Capricorn placement. However, the bulk of Generation Z has a Neptune in Aquarius placement, of course. Neptune is the natural ruler of Pisces, therefore it also rules over the 12th house. And remember, the 12th house is all about change. It's about the unknown, shedding your skin. Neptune is heavily related to spirituality and mainly our higher self. And if you remember, Aquarius is very much the rebel and all about coming together. Part 3, yes, I will post it now. It'll be in the comments. Calm down. Y'all, I've cracked the code. I know why we're all afraid of Gen Z. I know that Gen Z is gonna troll this video for being into astrology, but I don't care. Because I'm looking at your generational astrology right now and my mind is just... If you don't know what generational astrology is, there are 3 major planets that, when you are born within a certain time period, are in the same exact position for everyone. Those are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. I will be sharing that knowledge with you today. Just to clarify, Gen Z is anyone born between 1995 and 2012. We're gonna start with Uranus. Hello, Olivia. Uranus is all about rebellion, shock value, surprises. In 1996, Uranus moved into Aquarius, the sign of rebellion, who is ruled, in fact, by Uranus. So if you're wondering why there's such like oneness with Generation Z, that would be why. Aquarius and Uranus are both all about bettering society, creating a new and better world. Part 2, sorry, don't care.
Sometimes I really do get mad looking back and just seeing how shit my boundaries have been. And I didn't know that was a trauma response. I thought I was just being nice. I thought I was just trying to take care of people, being selfless. But no! Turns out that's codependent behavior. How many fucking times I completely neglected my own motherfucking needs because I need everyone around me to feel comfortable. Well, fuck that! The jig is up because a bitch hit rock fucking bottom, lost the will to live, fucked around and got DBT therapy, and now ain't nobody getting a piece of me at a discount ever again. I wish a motherfucker would. I wish someone would try to violate my boundaries. They going up right in their face. I'm building boundaries like Trump wishes he could build walls. Try to knock him down, run into it like Wile E. Coyote, looking stupid and shit. I don't give 2 fucks. We ain't doing that goofy shit ever again. And if you try to make me feel bad because it inconveniences you, then fuck you!
Is this my house? Entry, please. He is my neighbor, Nursultan Tuliakbay. Spinning my assholes. I get a window from a glass, he must get a window from a glass. I get a step, he must get a step. I get a clock radio, he cannot afford. Great success.
did you run out of fuel that quickly?
I emptied it out.
Emptied it? Why?
To make room for the tuna.
To be completely clear, I don't know why the princess keeps following me. I've cursed her like 5 times. But she keeps coming back. And she keeps calling me mommy? No? Then she asked me to step on her. Please. Are the mortals okay? Also, she's a little too obsessed with mushrooms. Yesterday, she said she was submissive and breedable. What the fuck does that mean? Since she said 69 was a good number, I looked it up and she found out I'd been to hell and she asked me if I saw Lil Nas X there. I didn't. About a month ago, she kept asking me to say Ada Ada and Awa Awa. Neither one's a spell, so...
Fall in love again. I hope you be yourself and lose your friends. I hope they call you out for shit you said. I hope you're miserable until you're dead.
I think I have this thing where I need everybody to think I'm the greatest, the quote-unquote fantastic Mr. Fox. And if they aren't completely knocked out and dazzled and kind of intimidated by me, then I don't feel good about myself. Foxes traditionally like to court danger.
Every day it's a getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster.
I don't know who this meeting's... Apparently we're having a meeting. I don't know who this reading is for, but apparently it's serious. 818, 818. Mirroring numbers. Again. This reading could be for you. Take it as it resonates. I'm gonna shuffle one more time, and I'm gonna cut the deck 4 times. One, 2, 3, 4. What is your energy? What is going on with you right now? Yeah. I thought so. Two of Cups, the Hierophant, the High Priestess. This is an undeniable reading of a very proper kind of love coming in for you. And with this High Priestess here, you already know what's happening. So this is your confirmation. I'm manifesting that the right person sees this. This is a very specific message, like I said. This is a meeting, right? What you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, I already saw. Interesting. The outcome here. Something very quickly coming in for you. Something that is predestined. Page of Pentacles, following the path that has already been paved for you. Final card. One more. Queen of Wands. You manifested this. Keep manifesting. New moons are really powerful for manifesting, for me anyways. I get a lot of energy around new moons. I just opened the deck and here's the Sun card. Happiness is coming for you.
Wherever you go, I will be far to follow. I'm gonna love you so. You'll learn what I already know. I love you means you're never, ever, ever getting rid of me.
I don't know which book fucked me up more, The Rainbow Fish or The Giving Tree. For those of you who need a refresher in these staples of a childhood library, The Rainbow Fish is a story about friendship. See, Rainbow Fish is the most beautiful fish in the ocean with all these dazzling scales, and he minds his business, content in his beauty, until one day this little blue fish that Rainbow Fish doesn't even know finds all of the audacity to ask the Rainbow Fish to freely give away the literal part of himself that he is most proud of and what makes him a unique individual for absolutely nothing in exchange. And like a sound-minded fish with healthy boundaries, he says, get lost, but apparently that makes him an asshole. So the little blue fish goes spreading rumors, and now no one wants to talk to the Rainbow Fish or be his friend anymore. So feeling isolated, the Rainbow Fish goes to a trusted advisor, the octopus, who tells him the only way he will ever be happy is by giving away all of himself to everyone else so that they will like him, and he does. The end. Now, The Giving Tree is a wholesome story about love. See, there's a boy who loves a tree, and the tree loves the boy, and they spend lots of time together. But then the boy starts to change, and he doesn't hang out with the tree very much anymore. But he still loves the tree, and the tree still loves the boy. So she gives him everything, her shade, her fruit, and even her body, even when he flaunts another girl around, until she has nothing left but a literal little stump. And even then, she's only unhappy because she thinks she has nothing left to offer the boy. But he still finds a way to use her in the end, don't worry. No wonder 90s adults are so fucked up when these are the examples we're given of love and friendship. Maybe if the little blue fish had just minded his fucking business instead of acting like an entitled little bitch, the Rainbow Fish would have found friends who liked him as he was and not for what he could give them. And maybe if the tree had just set a couple boundaries, then the boy would be buried in a family plot in her shade and she'd have started a flourishing orchard. And maybe if I hadn't been taught since the literal time I could read that being content with myself was not enough, that the only way to be happy is to have others like you, and the way to get others to like you is to give away all of yourself, even to those who do not deserve it, who give nothing in return, because the only way I am worthy of love is through how much I am able to provide for those who love me. Maybe. Yes, maybe if you weren't taught that too, then maybe when I cancel on lunch with you because today I'm focused on just making it through the day, you wouldn't mark it down as evidence as to why I'm falling out of love with you. And maybe when you aren't able to respond to my message within a few hours because of how slammed you are with work, I would not take it as a sign that I am not important to you. And maybe we wouldn't feel like we are never enough for anyone despite our rainbow souls and giving hearts.
So I came back to my school as non-binary back in May, and now we're back at the beginning of the school year, and things have been rough. But there are moments like this past Friday that make my job worth it. I've been working in the library for the past few weeks as a specialist teacher because we don't have our teacher yet. And a week ago or so, one of my students called me like, yes ma'am. And I said what I usually say, which is, I'm not a ma'am, but I appreciate the sentiment. Now, they were all confused because they didn't know what to call me. And I didn't have really an answer for them at the time. I was just like, honestly, you don't have to use anything. I don't really know. Then this past Friday, I had them again, and one of the students raised their hand and was like, last week you said we couldn't call you ma'am, so what should we call you? And I had a thought. In a moment decision, I looked at my kids and I said, you know what, you can call me Captain, because that'd be funny. There is now a solid at least 10 fifth grade boys who are now calling me Captain K. And I like it a far lot more than I thought I would. So long story short, I'm dressing as a non-binary pirate for Halloween now.
A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. A loaf of milk, a container of bread, and a Joe Dirt DVD. A Joe Dirt DVD, Scarlett Johansson, and Treasure from a Fish Tank.
One of my favorite parts of Midnight Sun is how often Edward questions Bella's sanity, and the best time this happens is right after Bella tells him she knows he's a vampire. In the movies, this scene is that dramatic standoff in the woods, but in the books, this is actually a really intense conversation that happens in Edward's car on their way back from Port Angeles. Bella has just told him that it didn't matter to her that he was a vampire, and Edward cannot believe it. He says, "You don't care if I'm a monster, if I'm not human?" And she responds again, "No." And then Edward thinks, "I started to wonder if she was entirely stable. I suppose that I could arrange for her to receive the best care available. Carlisle would have the connections to find her the most skilled doctors, the most talented therapists. Perhaps something could be done to fix whatever it was that was wrong with her, whatever it was that made her content to sit beside a vampire with her heart beating calmly and steadily. I would watch over the facility naturally and visit as often as she allowed." Edward hates himself so much he can't believe Bella doesn't too. So it gets sweet when he realizes she knew I was inhuman, a horror, and this didn't really matter to her. Aside from my worries about her sanity, I began to feel a swelling of hope. This is what we're led to believe in Bella's narrative, but in Midnight Sun, we learn that Edward basically spends the whole book trying to work up the strength to leave Bella. He truly believes that Bella is safer without him and that staying with her would be the most selfish thing he could ever do. So Edward actually made up his mind to leave Bella after what happened with James, because to him, that was exactly what he was afraid of happening. So when Bella asks Edward to change her at prom, this is what's going through his head. "I knew the future loomed, but I didn't know exactly how long I had. I was committed to staying until she was totally healed, so I had a few more weeks until she was back on 2 feet at least. Part of me wondered if it wouldn't be right to wait until she outgrew me as I'd originally planned. Wouldn't that mean the least pain for her? It would be so easy to fall into that version, but I wasn't sure if I had that long. The future felt like it was pressing closer. I didn't know what that sign would be, but I knew I would recognize it when it came." So what happened with Jasper and New Moon wasn't when he made the decision, it was the sign he was waiting for. We got so much insight into Edward and Emmett's relationship in Midnight Sun, and one of the best moments by far is when they come up with a whole plot to get Ben to ask out Angela. The idea comes to Edward when he's trying to think of a gift that he can give Angela as thanks for being such a good friend to Bella. So when he's listening to her mind to try to find something that she wants or is interested in, he realizes that she has a crush on Ben. But the reason that nothing has happened between the two of them is there's a huge height difference. Angela's way taller than Ben. But he knows that Ben also has a crush on Angela. So in a class where Edward, Emmett, and Ben are all together, Edward convinces Emmett to script out an entire conversation for Ben to overhear, where Edward pretends that he wants to ask out Angela, but Emmett says, "Oh no, I heard a rumor that she's into Ben." Ben asks out Angela, they end up together. of all, this turning page vase is like one of my favorite things I've ever made, so please stick around for the reveal. But also I wanted to talk about the bottle cap, which is one of my favorite details from Midnight Sun, and it was a great detail in Twilight too, but it was left out of the movies. So when Edward and Bella are first getting to know each other, they have a ton of conversations that happen in the cafeteria, and during one of these conversations, Edward takes one of Bella's bottle caps from something she's drinking and starts playing with it. Like what we think is absent-mindedly in Twilight, and he takes the bottle cap and Bella notices, but a big deal isn't really made of it. But in Midnight Sun, we learn that this bottle cap becomes really important to Edward, and it's like something that he keeps on him all the time as a reminder of Bella. Like he saves it and he carries it around with him in his pocket, and when he's playing piano and composing her lullaby, he puts it on the piano, and like his whole family is kind of confused, but he leaves it there and it's really special to him. And then at the end of Midnight Sun, when he's watching the video that James made of torturing Bella, he destroys the bottle cap, because that's when he makes the decision that he has to leave Bella. Guys have been asking, and I'm finally gonna do a few videos about everything that the New Moon movie did dirty about Bella and Edward's reunion. Spoiler alert, they completely butchered it. In the movie, they kind of just brush over the whole thing, Edward apologizes and Bella forgives him right away. They make out in Volterra, and then the Volturi takes them up to their tower. In the book, none of this happens in Italy. Bella spends their entire time in Italy thinking that the only reason Edward tried to kill himself was because he felt guilty that she jumped off the cliff. Even if they had wanted to have that whole conversation right there, they would not have been able to, because in the books, the Volturi were literally in the wings waiting for Edward to reveal himself. But the biggest reason they barely had any conversation until they got back to Forks was because Bella refused to. Throughout their entire really long journey home, she did not say a thing, she didn't ask Edward any questions, she just chugged caffeine on the plane and basically just looked at him. Her logic was that he was stuck with her at least until they got off the plane, so by not asking him any questions, she was prolonging the time that she had with him. She was fully convinced that he was going to bolt as soon as the plane doors opened. Because she refused to sleep for that whole journey, she passes out as soon as she gets home, and then when she wakes up and sees Edward, she thinks that she's dead. When Bella wakes up after sleeping for 14 hours and sees Edward there, she thinks that she died when she jumped off the cliff. And it takes Edward forever to convince her that A, she's not dead, and B, she did not dream up their entire trip to Italy. So finally, Bella gets to asking him questions, and Edward immediately launches into a really long apology of how he had no idea that he was leaving her with Victoria and the werewolves and how horrible and guilty he feels. And Bella stops him and says, Edward, you can't think about things this way. You can't let this guilt rule your life. You can't take responsibility for the things that happened to me here. Even if I had jumped off that cliff to die, that would have been my choice and not your fault. And Edward stops her almost angrily and says, Isabella Marie Swan, do you believe that I asked the Volturi to kill me because I felt guilty? And this is finally where Edward explains that he only left to try and protect her and that he obviously still loves her. So of course Bella starts crying again and once again thinks that she's just dreaming. So Edward says, how can I put this so that you'll believe me? You're not asleep and you're not dead. I'm here and I love you. I have always loved you and I will always love you. I was thinking of you, seeing your face in my mind every second that I was away. When I told you that I didn't want you was the very blackest kind of blasphemy. So many good lines in this scene, and then they finally kiss. The movies really did book Edward dirty. I know he is not perfect, but I have been Team Edward since day one, so here are some of my favorite book Edward quotes. And these are also the ones that I like to put on mugs all the time. This one is from their New Moon reunion scene when Edward comes back and is trying to convince Bella that he never stopped loving her. Before you, Bella, my life was like a moonless night. Very dark, but there were stars, points of light and reason, and then you shot across my sky like a meteor. Suddenly everything was on fire. There was brilliancy, there was beauty. When you were gone, when the meteor had fallen over the horizon, everything went black. Nothing had changed, but my eyes were blinded by the light. I couldn't see the stars anymore, and there was no more reason for anything. And then in Eclipse, when Edward first gets back, he does not leave to hunt because he sees how much it upsets Bella that he has to leave again, even though it's necessary. So basically Bella starts putting on a brave face and kicking him out the door whenever Emmett and Jasper want to go hunt. But of course Edward sees through this, and he leaves her this note one time saying, I'll be back so soon you won't have time to miss me. Look after my heart, I've left it with you. Another Eclipse moment when they're talking about how much they love each other, Bella says, I know how much I love you, and Edward says, you compare one small tree to the entire forest. Let's talk about one of the saddest parts in Midnight Sun, where we learn the true reason why Edward insisted on taking Bella to prom. In Twilight, he tells Bella it's because he doesn't want her missing out on any important human experiences, but in Midnight Sun, we learn that he wants her to have something to remember him by when her future children ask about prom and he's not in the picture anymore. He says, I envision Bella aging gracefully into middle age. She has 2 or 3 children, maybe one boy with Charlie's curly hair and smile, and a girl who, like Bella, took after her mother. I did not try to picture their father or think about how his face might be reflected in her children. That was all agony. One day when they were young adolescents, younger than Bella was now, perhaps prompted by a teenage rom-com on TV, one of the children would ask Bella what her high school prom was like. Bella could laugh when her child asked, and her eyes would suddenly seem far away. It was crazy, she would say. I didn't really want to go, you know I'm no dancer, but my lunatic best friend kidnapped me for a makeover and my boyfriend took me over my protests. It wasn't so bad in the end. I'm glad I went, at the very least to see all the decorations. They were like a budget version of the movie Carrie. It was for that moment in Bella's future that I'd allowed Alice to go through with her plan. A lot of you guys were so surprised that Bella actually has an attitude in the books way more than she does in the movies, so I think you'll be even more surprised to hear that she argued with Edward all the time, especially about how Edward tried to keep her from going to La Push to visit Jacob. The first time Bella successfully sneaks away to see Jacob, Edward is actually on a hunting trip. After the visit, Bella is on her way to Angela's to help her with her graduation invitations, and then all of a sudden she sees a shiny Volvo right on her tail. Edward comes back from this trip because he's so anxious about what is going on in La Push. Bella knows that he's going to be furious, so she completely ignores him and just pulls into Angela's and watches the car go by without making any eye contact. Eventually, she goes back to her house and she knows Edward is waiting in her room basically to yell at her. Of course, that's where he is, but Bella doesn't just take it, she argues with him. She tells him how safe it was and how ridiculous and controlling Edward is being, and of course Edward doesn't want to hear it, but Bella doesn't just give in either. She has like an attitude and agency in this situation. And then Bella sneaks away again another time Edward is off hunting, but this time Alice is the one who sees her get on Jake's motorcycle. She's got attitude.
Hurry, girl. What did you learn?
I saw a squirrel. He was doing like this.
Concentrate, girl.
People like you. No. They like the carefully curated version of myself that I create for my interactions with other people. Why not just be yourself? Oh, you silly. Oh, you silly.
So it's down to you and me. Let me explain. It's nothing to explain. What it is. Perhaps arranged can be rich. I cannot compete with you physically, but you cannot compete with my brains. You that smart. Did you ever hear about soccer team, Hercules and Einstein? They are all morons. I'm challenging you to the battles of the witch. I accept. Good, then pour the wine. This is a deadly poison. You cannot smell it. You cannot taste it. Okay, where is the poison? It's all so simple. I just need to figure it out. What kind of crook you are? Where did you put the poison? On your cup or the enemy cup? You're trying to confuse me, but if you're a wise man, you're gonna put the poison in your cup that I'm gonna drink for my cup, but the poison is right there on this cup. Okay, you made a decision then. Not remotely. You did the poison on your drink. You put the poison on my drink. You wanted to confuse me where it is. I'm gonna confuse you. I'm gonna take your drink because you didn't poison yourself. Wow, you really got dizzy intellectual. I even didn't start it yet. You probably think that I know where is this poison coming from. I know you didn't put it in your cup. You just stalling now. You like to think that, wouldn't you? You just beat up my giant friend, so you think that you are stoned, so you put the drink, the poison in your cup. But you beat up my smart guy too, and you want the poison far away from you, so you put the poison in my cup. You try to trick me to give you something. It's not going to work. It is work. You give everything away. I know where the poison is. Then make your choice. I will, and I choose. Hey, look over there. What? Where? I don't see anything.
So funny.
I'm going to tell you later. Let's drink from the cups. You guessed wrong. You like to think that I was wrong. This is what is so funny. I switch the drinks when you turn around, you idiot.
I have not come this far to just come this far. I have not come this far to just come this far. So take your judgment, your criticism, your harsh words, your disrespect, and throw them as hard as you can at me, because I swear that I have not come this far to just get this far, and I refuse to let you take my power.
Mother Gothel from Tangled is Meg from Hercules, and I can prove it. Let's go. Meg, of course, existed in ancient Greece and Mother Gothel over in Germany centuries apart, but this really isn't a problem because there's a golden magical flower that maintains her youth. But where did the flower come from? Because that is where things get interesting. Eugene gives us a bit of an origin story.
From this small drop of sun grew a magic golden flower.
This scene right here where we're seeing the magic golden sundrop fall to Earth matches another scene from Disney perfectly when Hercules is being taken from the land of the gods down to Earth. These scenes are absolutely identical, meaning it's not a sun drop, it's a sun drop. Hades even calls him this.
Sunspot.
Not to mention, Hades is literally trying to drain Hercules of his immortality in this very scene, and that is exactly what the flower provides. We also have a vague idea of how far the flower actually is from the kingdom of Corona.
Hop, skip, and a boat ride away.
Thank you, Eugene. Once again, that is very vague, but the real question here is, how far do you think the king would be willing to go to save his pregnant, dying wife who is also the queen? I'm gonna say it. He'd go the distance. Smash the like button if you got that reference. But the question is, why and how would Meg become so twisted and turn into Mother Gothel? And I think the answer is actually not immortality, but rather mortality. Because remember, at the end of Hercules, he actually gives up his immortality, his place with the gods, to live out a mortal life with Meg. What happens if after giving up that immortality, Meg outlives him. What lengths do you think she might go to try to fix the situation? I agree, lengths like trying to find the last remaining trace of where a god last touched Earth. Or in this case specifically where Hercules first touched Earth, which is of course where she would find the flower. Also consider the song that Mother Gothel sings to the flower in order to get its powers to work.
Make the clock reverse, bring back what once was mine.
I always wondered, like, how does she know what to sing to the flower to get it to work? And then it kind of occurred to me, what if it didn't start off by singing? What if she was originally pleading with the flower? That is, pleading to bring back her dead husband. And then the song continues.
Change the fates design.
That is capital F fates, as in fates from Greek mythology, as in these three ladies. They are the fates. They're in charge of killing mortals in Hercules. And at the end of Tangled, why does Mother Gothel let Rapunzel save Flynn? She holds all the cards in this situation. It's because Meg lives deep down inside of her and made the exact same deal once upon a time.
You sold your soul to me to save your boyfriend's life.
I am telling you guys, Meg is in there. And if that doesn't convince you, let me end with this.
You big lug.
You big lug.
Many horror films feature men punishing women for breaking puritanical and patriarchal rules. In this series, I look at horror movies that center women doing violence to other women and ask whether they're motivated by those same principles. In the case of Jennifer's Body, the conflict between Jen and Needy emerges from the repressed romantic and sexual desires they hold for one another, and I would argue, from compulsory heterosexuality. The movie's first scene establishes this theme, with a classmate accusing Needy of being lesbigay for Jen, which Needy immediately denies. Significantly, it's Jen's own symbolic denial of her feelings for Needy that leads to Jen becoming a man-eating demon. She drops Needy's hand and then becomes almost supernaturally entranced by the low-shoulder singer, who later turns her into a man-eating demon. Once Jen has been turned, she eats whoever she can get her teeth on, but she finds Needy's male romantic interest to be a special delicacy. It's also significant that the scene in which Jen kills Colin is intercut with Needy having sex with her boyfriend, at certain points creating the illusion that the two girls are having sex with one another. To me, this suggests that Jen feels the only way she can connect with Needy romantically and sexually is by using boys as proxies. Ultimately, Needy is fed up with the immense emotional pain Jen has caused while struggling with compulsory heterosexuality and kills her. So in an abstract way, the violence in this movie is motivated by patriarchy because comphet is a product of that system.
Quit, just get in the kettle, keep killing this shit. We've had a hell of a ride, but you thought we were riding to heaven. Well, I motherfucking lied, so crank that funky shit too.
Into a week in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I say, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on?
Hey guys, recently I started making pop punk music. I have a little preview of a song here. I just want to see your opinions on it before I put it out. So let me know what you think.
He spreads my cheeks and he makes me scream. He's my number one daddy, gonna make him cream inside of me. Just keep riding me. When I'm surfing him down, it's my favorite sound. He let out a little moan, what a beautiful tone, so softly. Just keep riding me.
Thanks. Just let me know what you think.
I feel bad about what happened.
So, you're apologizing?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't forgive you.
Herb, I said I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I do not forgive you.
Not sure you get what's happening here. This could be the last time that
No, I'm not going to give you closure. You don't get that. You have to live with the shitty thing you did for the rest of your life. You have to know that it's never, ever going to be okay.
Guess I never gave up playing golden child. Don't drink and don't do drugs, so I'm not cool anymore. controlling. It's the weight I'm holding. Trying to live up to the girl they see. Cause I knew somebody had to be steady, safe, and focused. If I'm not sure, I won't show 'em. When I fall, I feel all eyes on me. But I guess somebody had to be honest.
Are you high right now?
Yes. Yes, I'm high.
Did you just smoke?
Yeah, on the way over here. Damn, I'm telling too much of the truth. I'm like snitching on myself.
Do you have any on you right now?
No.
Lisa?
No, he's good. He's clean.
Do you smoke every day?
Yes.
Multiple times a day?
Hella.
Right when you wake up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Before you go to bed?
Yes, sir.
In the middle of the night?
For sure.
In the middle of the night?
Sometimes.
A white woman to walk up to that dog in leggings and Uggs, kneel down, sweet talk him, pull out some bolt cutters and crack that big ass chain, throw him in the Subaru, buy him a 10X sweater, take him through Starbucks drive-thru and order a gigantic pup cup. Talk about, hi, we just rescued him and we named him Jeremy.
You ever get on your own nerves? You ever want to take a break from yourself? You ever just look at yourself and be like, why? What's your problem? What's the malfunction with you today? You ever look at yourself and say, you tripping? Like, I feel like I'm having one of them days where I need to sit myself down and have a conversation with myself like, I know times are hard. I know we've been going through some things right now, but it's gonna be okay. And bitch, if you cry one more time, I'm gonna knock your motherfucking teeth out. Okay? So, cheers. Fucking get your shit together. Shit. Did you say something? I didn't think so.
Wait, who the fuck are you? Oh, me? Oh, I'm a tic disorder. I'm your new roommate. Get out! Oh, no, I'm never gonna leave. But I won't hang around here as much as you get older. Okay, fine. Just nobody else. Hey, bitch. Now what are you doing? I'm moving in too, and I brought a few friends if you don't mind. Hi. Hey. All of you need to go out right now? No can do. You're stuck with us. Hey, it seems like I came at a bad time, but I'm here too. What the fuck? I also brought a plus one. This is eating disorder. I'm also friends with CPTSD. What a small world. I crash here from time to time. Also, I broke a few things in the kitchen. Sorry about that. No one else is allowed in. Nope. Nope. Is this a bad time to tell you I've been hiding in the attic the whole time? Oh my god. I've been hiding in the basement. I can't do this. Have we got some shit to tell you? Where have you been hiding? I've been living in the walls. It's taken you a really long time to notice. Nope. Everyone out. Nope. We're a package deal. I don't go anywhere without CPTSD. Yeah, ADHD and I are siblings. OCD's my cousin. So am I just stuck with you all forever? Yeah.
Cause my insides are red, and yours are too, and the red on my face is matching you. And goodness, you're bleeding, what a wonderful feeling. You're down and you're bleeding, my head is just reeling. The red means I love you.
2, 3, 4, I'm dancing from my vagina. 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm grinding. Orgasmize, and we're done.
I never got to wear puff sleeves. What are you doing there? If you want to send me to the hospital for the remainder of my days, I will completely understand.
You're not dying.
Please plant some pink roses on my grave.
You are not am, and it's perfectly normal.
I'm not ready to be a woman.
Well, it's God's plan, and that's the way of it.
Oh, there's been some kind of mistake. There is no way God would think it's time for me to be a woman.
Now, let's get you sorted out. You'll need some cotton cloths to pin to your undergarments.
This can't be happening.
And after, they'll need to be washed in cold water first and then hot.
Do you have to deal with this too?
I did, for many years.
Years?
Your cycle is just a few days every month.
Every month? Why? Why is this happening now? Everything was fine the way it was for what?
What's wrong?
Everything.
I said out.
Yes, Barn.
Barn.
Anne, calm yourself. My word, you're hysterical.
Girl, same.
There now. Perhaps you should stay home from school today.
What? No.
So a lot of you have been asking me, how do I know if my sibling's gay? I don't personally have any gay siblings, so I don't really know how to help you.
I'm gay.
No, Michaela, they mean like lesbian.
I am a lesbian.
Can I please just finish my video? Jeez. The way that I knew that my sister was straight is she wears a lot of Marvel boxers, so that kind of like solidified it for me. I hope.
I'm gay. It's one thing to say I'm not gay. It's another thing to say that I'm straight.